Welcome to Entrepreneur S.O.S, where we help business owners navigate the often complex world of entrepreneurship. Each week, we share expert advice or real-life experiences from successful entrepreneurs who have faced and overcome the challenges of building a business. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, this is the podcast designed to help you. So, join us each week and let's grow your business together. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us to reach more entrepreneurs like you. And today, Monique and I are going to give you 5 tips to stay motivated through summer. As entrepreneurs, we always go, and then summer months come and maybe kids are out and the weather's beautiful and
I won't be lying because it's been already like now in the 80s and I'm itching. I'm itching to get out on the lake and I'm itching to get outside and hike. And so summer is definitely a time when I love to embrace the outdoors. So it is hard to stay motivated during that time, Sandy.
So how do you keep yourself motivated?
I think there's a lot of ways to do it. One of the things that I have done in the past is I adapted my routine around what I wanted to do. Even if you work a job, you can do this with some jobs, not all jobs. My sister-in-law, for instance, she does not schedule. She books everything up until Thursday, like she's highly booked. And then Friday at noon, she's done. She's off to the beach. She schedules her week that way, and she has the flexibility to do that. And I think as entrepreneurs, we also have that flexibility to adapt. Maybe we start earlier in the day versus 8 o'clock, we're starting at 6 o'clock, or, maybe we're going to work at night and enjoy some time during the day at the pool. I feel like you can, as an entrepreneur, adjust those routines when needed. It doesn't need to be so rigid.
You're absolutely right. And that's where, for me, Miss Time Block Queen, time blocking comes in because I can get up an hour earlier or stay up, but stays lighter longer. So you can stay up a little longer. Kids, for those of us that have, or for those of us, my kids are older, but for those of you that have kids at home still, even if you're up later, they'll probably sleep in because they're busy from the beach and busy from playing outside. So you can get up and maybe work an hour here or there or during nap time or whatever. So there's definitely ways that you can schedule it in and get stuff done still.
Yeah, because maybe you want to take that hour of 10 to 1 where you want to go to the pool with your kids. It's a great time in the morning. And you can just say, you know what, I'm going to block off 10 to 1 as family time and just make that a priority and put that in your routine. Just adjust when you take meetings, adjust when you do your work. For me, summer, I can do better. Like I'm not a night work person. I shut down at night, but in summer, because it is light, you don't realize all of a sudden it's 7:30 out because it's bright light.
Exactly. So, I'm starting to think that already, actually.
Yeah.
As I look, I'm like, oh, it's lighter longer. I love it.
It makes it a little bit easier to do that work at night versus in winter, where you're like, oh, I'm ready to shut down and go to sleep. So adjust your routine. And then speaking of that, for me, nature is like my boo. I love it. I'm about ready to go backpacking and I'm really excited. What I'll do during that time is I'll let nature work for me. So for me, nature is extremely grounding and puts me into a very good place vibrationally, which puts me into a lot of flow. And when I'm in flow, the ideas just come blazing. And so I use that to my advantage. So when I'm on my trip, I'm specifically bringing a journal so that I can take some time every day and reflect and let the ideas flow and also brainstorm some of the things that I'm looking to do in the future. So I really utilize walks and hikes and even going to sitting by the water or any of those times that I'm in nature, I use to my advantage to just be a thinking and reflecting time.
So I totally agree. So I do it in winter too, but because it's colder and I'm a wuss, but I'm barefoot 90% of the time. Like I will go barefoot the second I can, even on the concrete. I am a barefoot queen. In summer, I've made it for the last few years a must that every day I go somewhere and grounds, like literally barefoot on earth. I believe in that. And you're right, the grounding nature, especially for me, water does a lot. And I get super creative. I also go meditate outside when the weather gets nice and really take advantage of being outside and under trees. And especially with the dogs, it's huge. And I love to journal and I get some good ideas. But again, for me, it's more the time to really be still and allow myself to be at peace and quiet. So I love the warmer weather for that. And I love warm weather. I love hot weather.
I do too. I wish I could ground more here, but I'm always afraid of the fire ants here because we have so many fire ants, and I'm always like, ah. But another thing I just thought of that I used to do a lot more when I had the network marketing business is I would actually utilize the laptop lifestyle. You could take that laptop anywhere. You can take that phone anywhere. So sometimes you can work from the pool or the beach or the backyard. Like I would just go in my backyard and put my umbrella out and do my work back there. I had Wi-Fi, but I was outside. So I didn't feel like I was clammed up working because I was outside, or maybe you're at a coffee shop sitting outside. So use the outside so that you don't feel like you're always inside if you can. Not everybody can, but if you can, that's a really great way to bring summer to you.
And I love that you said that because I've been having my coffee every morning outside and taking the laptop with me, just being outside every morning. The hummingbirds come. It's so beautiful. Absolutely. I love that with the warmer weather. And talking about that, schedule some downtime, schedule a vacation, schedule a couple long weekends. If you can't take a big long trip for whatever reasons, even just a day trip or a weekend or even what did they say? Staycation, but just giving yourself some downtime.
I've had some of the best times with staycation in the area. Be a tourist in your own damn town.
Yep.
Find places that you want to go. But I agree. I feel like we feel a little guilty sometimes taking those extra days. Like, oh, I should be at the office, but it's going to be beautiful on Tuesday. For me, being an entrepreneur was about time flexibility. I wanted to be able to take that Tuesday and go for a day hike or go kayaking. And if you have that ability, take that downtime and don't feel guilty because it's a Tuesday. You can work on Sunday. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur is you don't have to work Monday through Friday. Every day is Saturday. You can work on your own terms if your business allows for it, of course. But I agree. And schedule the vacation. But I will say this, be ready because this is going to be one of the biggest vacation years they said in decades. So be ready for long lines and use that to your advantage. If you're sitting at the airport, use that hour and a half you got to sit at the airport and do a little work.
Exactly. There's Wi-Fi everywhere.
On the plane now.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And even if you have to take and sneak off, if you're on vacation, and I'm not a big advocate of working on vacation, but if it's I really can't take a day, I'm just in building phase, then schedule your day on vacation so that you close your laptop at a certain time and that's it. You're done. Not everybody has that luxury. We understand that. But if you can, walk away. If you can't, minimal time, the minimal amount of stuff you can do, you do early or whatever, and you're done. Make it a time block situation. Summer only comes once a year for most people, not everybody.
And for those of you listening in Australia, obviously you're going into winter, so you can take these suggestions next season.
Yeah.
Another great thing to do during summer, because it depends on the business, it can get slower for some. You can take advantage of the stuff that you couldn't do, backlogged stuff. You can take advantage of checking those off the list. And again, not everybody can, but just for those that summer is a slower month for whatever business, it's definitely a good time to take care of some unfinished things.
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody has ebbs and flows in their business. And for a lot of people, summer, that's an ebb. It's not a flow. Not everybody. Some people, they're renting tennis rackets and it's a flow. But for a lot of businesses, it becomes an ebb because people are preoccupied on vacation. They're doing their own thing. And it's a good time to take a look at what you didn't get done. For me, summer was my busiest time of year with our retail business because that's when I did all the horse shows. So my off season was a very short amount of time in fall. And I shifted that and I would do all of those backlogged projects in late fall before I moved down to south for the winter season. So I had a 3-month time when I would look at all the projects that didn't get done that just kept piling up on the desk. You look at them and you're like, oh, I got to get to that. You just don't. This is a great time to do it if you have the time. Utilize it for those projects. And once you're in the midst of that, that might actually spark some creativity in your business. And that's a good time to look at your overall vision and maybe create different goals. Look at the goal set for the year and say, hey, do we want to look at some new goals coming up? Is this a good time to readjust? Look at what you've done the first couple of quarters and say, is this a good time to pivot? Or do we need to make changes? Maybe your vision isn't exactly where you want it to be and you can expand on that. It's a good time for reflection in businesses in this time of year. People are busy eating noodle salad and going to graduation and on their paddle boards. So they're your customers. They don't own businesses. They're working 9 to 5 and they're enjoying their time off on the weekends and vacation. This is when they're gone. So this is the perfect time for a lot of people to double down on their business and really look at it and create new goals and create new structures to get those up and running when they know it's going to start to come back to life. I feel like, I don't know about you, Sandy, but I feel like it starts to come back to life for a lot of businesses like end of August.
Yeah.
When school starts, like
when school starts and parents are going school shopping and back to school shopping and all that good stuff. I had to laugh at your noodle salad comment though. Is that what people do in summer? Eat noodle salad?
I have to tell you, it's funny. I have this movie I love. It's called As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt. It's one of my favorite movies. And he's an author who is extremely difficult to deal with, who has massive OCD. And there is a scene in that movie where he refers to people eating noodle salad. And it has stuck with me ever since. If you haven't watched that movie, I highly suggest, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It is one of my favorite scenes ever in a movie. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen that movie, you have to, but that is where the noodle reference comes from.
I will have to check that movie out.
You have to. A little off topic, but that's where the noodle salad comes from.
That's awesome. But yeah, absolutely. New goals. Like Monique said, sometimes it's the middle of the year and things didn't work out, but maybe they worked out differently than you thought they would. So you can take it and you can adjust and you can shift. So that's actually a great time of year for me, not only business goals, but just to look at goals in general to see what I need to adjust, where I need to adjust, if at all. So that's a great time to get stuff like that done.
Well, and for some business, it's the fiscal year. And so July is the start of the new year anyways. So it just depends on your business. Not everybody's set up on a calendar year. So if you are in a fiscal year, this is obviously a great time to reevaluate the last year and say, what do I need to change? What do we need to pivot? So
summer's coming. I know it's already May. So tips on getting ready for summer and already thinking about it, right? Because school's going to be letting out soon. Graduations are happening. I have a friend whose daughter's graduating and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's that time of year again. It's all going to happen really fast. I don't know how we got to May so quickly as it is.
Like that. Time flies. Thank you. We hope that you enjoyed this podcast. And as always, please hit that subscribe button and share with a friend that you think might love this. And we'd love to hear feedback. So feel free to comment on anything that you found of value in this podcast. And we will check you out next week.
Take care, guys.